Yeah, I mean, obviously, it was as much as it stings to fall one match short. It was an incredible year. I was just really proud of the guys. I feel like they quote unquote they started playing their best when it mattered the most. Towards the late in the spring, kind of going into obviously the conference championship, they played incredible. Got went away with the victory at ACCs, and then won regionals, and then obviously did what they did at the national championship. It was awesome to see them kind of clicking on all cylinders, especially when it came down to crunch time. And it was one of those things that we knew on paper we were a really good team, right? We had the talent. I think everybody knew that, but as far as being in those match play situations, it was a team that nobody had made match play at nationals before. So it was one of those things where it was like, on paper we know we're good enough, but there was still kind of those questions of, what exactly does it take? How good do I have to play? And so that was kind of the message throughout the whole spring, was like, just be yourself, like, and trust that it's good enough. And I really think they took that to heart, and they were, and then it turned out to be pretty darn good. So it was one of those things where we didn't talk about the results a ton. It was kind of one of those things that I think the guys really just bought into. We're going to enjoy this time with each other. We're going to enjoy. They the stuff off the golf course mattered just as much as on the golf course, whether that was, the team dinners, workouts, just practicing together. Um, so we didn't talk about results a ton. I think they just kind of fell in love with getting as good as they possibly could and enjoying the process of getting better. And they enjoyed doing it together. At the end of the day, it just kind of takes out the guesswork, of it's just so easy and so beneficial to actually go in and look at what you're doing well and what you're not doing well, and to be able to kind of take the emotion out of it. And um someone may walk off a 4 round qualifier having, say that they missed by a shot, and obviously that comes with some heartbreak, but and to be able to, sometimes the emotion gets into it is, oh, if I just would have made more putts or something. And then but you can actually look at the data and say, actually, no, you putted well. It was a different aspect of the game. um and so I think, we have a group of guys who love golf, and love the pursuit of just getting as good as they possibly can, and they use the app to give them reliable feedback of, hey, this is kind of my lowest hanging fruit. That's a big term that we use a lot, of what's the lowest hanging fruit. And that kind of looks different for everybody, because it is an individual sport, and people have different strengths and weaknesses of their game. Um, so they use it quite often on that regard, as far as looking at, what they actually did well, and what they can improve on after a tournament or after a 4 round qualifier. And then, a lot of guys have started using the drills that you guys have built in their practice to switch up their practice routine of, sometimes getting out of the technical aspect of practice and actually start doing a little more, random practice. Obviously, it can get monotonous a little bit just to be working on the technical side of things. And it's just a good way to have these games, to gamify practice and have them built in the app right in front of you, where you can just go in, select one, and then it's up to you to do it. And then, it logs right in. So yeah, our guys use it a lot. They look at it a lot. I look at it a ton. It gives me great information, because obviously I can only be watching a handful of guys at a time. I never, it's very rare that I get to see someone play a complete round, because you're obviously kind of bouncing back and forth amongst everybody. But so that gives me great information, and great stuff to talk about, and then kind of to build a practice plan. I mean, you can get down as absolutely as detailed as you want to kind of look in, say approach to the green. You can look at from what distances you're doing well, and what distances that you can improve on. You can get as detailed, or for putting, you can look at if you're left to righters, or you're putting well with left to righters but struggling with right to lefters. You can be as detailed as you want, and that's obviously beneficial for any coach, because you want to get as detailed as possible, and like you said, to make individual plans, because everybody has different skill sets in this game, and you want the practice time to be as efficient as possible. So yes, it's very useful. sometimes it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, but I feel like the young group of guys that we have at the moment, they really enjoy using the app, and they obviously they love the game, and they're just trying to get better, and they're using the app to their advantage of really analyzing what areas of the game they need to get better at, and putting in the work. So it really has been a critical piece of their development for sure.